Let's watch Mr. Heavyweight Boxing today.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Chris, the Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mission Boxing.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man, so I got a chance to check out the Filip Hrgovic versus Kevin Johnson fight. Hrgovic pretty much won a easy 8-round decision in this fight. He was pretty much, the first couple rounds, well, pretty much throughout the fight, there were some spots where he wasn't the aggressor, but it was just little spots here and there where he wasn't, but he was still controlling the fight with his range, and he has pretty good legs going backwards, all right? But he was coming forward with the jab, right hand. That was pretty much the combination he was using throughout the fight. He was throwing, 3-4 punch combinations, getting his work off and then moving back. Kevin Johnson, we know what Kevin Johnson brings to the ring, right? He's long in the tooth right now. He's 39 years old, but he's going to get in there. He's going to try to be slippery on defense, kind of use that shell defense, kind of roll with your right hand and come back and roll with the left hook. He'll duck and bend and come in and grab you around the waist. He'll do little things like that to try to frustrate you, get you out your game plan, make you miss. Try to do those type of things, all right? But Hrgovic was very accurate with his jab and right hand. I thought he went kind of right hand crazy in the fight. I thought he could have targeted the body a little bit more, being that Kevin Johnson is a guy that can move his head. I thought that Hrgovic could at least work the body a little bit more, at least jab to the body a little bit more, or just work the body area, you know what I mean? I know a lot of fans, they tend to think that, this guy could knock out Johnson, because a lot of fans were saying that when Dubois couldn't get Johnson out of there. And it's like, dude, Johnson has only been stopped. I mean, officially twice, but only one stoppage, and that was to Anthony Joshua. Now, he does have another stoppage loss to a gentleman that I'm going to bring up in this video named Petar Malas, but that was due to cuts. Although Malas did drop Kevin Johnson, I believe it was a left hook that dropped Kevin Johnson. It was a legit knockdown. All right, but Kevin Johnson's been in there with guys like Tyson Fury, Vitaly Klitschko, Christian Hammer, Derek Chisora, Kirbat Pulev. He went the distance with all of those guys, man, 12 rounds. And he went 10 rounds with Daniel Dubois recently and Andrew Ruiz Jr. not too long ago, you know what I mean? So, and they went 10 rounds in those fights. So Hrgovic went the 8 rounds with him, nothing to be ashamed of. He won the fight, landslide, won all the rounds. All right, now, like I said, there was some spots in the fight where Johnson put up the high guard and was coming forward. Hrgovic did a good job by moving back. With Hrgovic, man, and I noticed this when I was watching him in the World Series of Boxing back in 2015 when I, first started watching the guy, late 2014, is he knows, for a big guy, he knows what to do going backwards. Sometimes guys put up the high guard, their footwork is off, they're just stiff as a board going backwards. They really don't know what to do going backwards. They're more comfortable coming forward, and they're very uncomfortable going on that back foot. Hrgovic, on the other hand, can move around. He knows what to do when he's going backwards, all right? So he has good movement going backwards. He can turn. He can use that jab. He he'll fight with his hands down a little bit, kind of Vitaly Klitschko-esque a little bit, where he can kind of whip punches from his hip, a la like the way Larry Holmes used to do it. I'm not calling the kid Larry Holmes, but I'm talking about that style of fighting, all right? He'll fight with his hands down by his waist a little bit, you know what I mean? Pick you off with the jab and right hand off the back foot a little bit, all right? He has a good left hook. I wish I would have seen a little bit more of that left hook in this fight, but I know Johnson is a tricky guy. I can say he's slippery and he can get out of the way a lot of punches, man. Sometimes he can roll with shots as well, all right? But Hrgovic definitely easy win for him, you know what I mean? Now, as far as who I would like to see him fight next, man, I mean, what is he, 7-0 now? So only had a little handful of fights. He's fought savvy guy like Kevin Johnson. His fight before this, he fought Amir Mansour. Dominated Mansour in that fight. I would like to see him fight this guy, Petar Malas. They are both Croatian fighters. Malas, I read an article not too long ago, and I wish I would have linked. Maybe I'll try to leave the link to that article in the comments section. But Malas was even saying that he knows that him and Hrgovic is going to fight one day. You know what I mean? And Hrgovic is 26 years old. He's about 6'6", about 230 pounds, somewhere in there. Malas is 23 years old, and they have him listed here 6'4.5". So he's about 6'4.5", 6'5", and he is also another guy that's 230 pounds, 23 years old, young guy. All right. Ironically, he has beaten Kevin Johnson, and he also beat Francisco Pianata. I think those are his 2 best wins on his resume. All right. So I would love to see Malas versus Hrgovic. I would love to see that fight, man. Like I said, though, dominant win by Filip Hrgovic, man. He is going to be fast tracked, I believe. You know what I mean? So who would you guys like to see him fight? I like to see him fight pretty much anybody, man, that's on their way up or working their way up. You know, maybe like a Sergey Kuzmin. A lot of these guys, he has fought in the World Series of boxing before. You know what I mean? Some of the younger guys that just turned pro the last couple years that were fighting in the amateur, especially on that international level. He has fought a lot of those guys, you know. So, but if I had a fight I had to pick, the Malas fight. Maybe it doesn't happen this early, but I would love to see this type of fight. I like when these prospects, guys from are from the same country, get in there with each other, man. Dillian White had to do it with Anthony Joshua before any of those guys were even trying to win a world title. He fought, White and Joshua fought. Even when Otto Wallen ended up fighting Adrian Granat, I thought they should have fought each other when they were both undefeated, but they end up fighting. You know what I mean? So, and the list goes on and on. All right, I'm just bringing up just a couple examples. All right, but I would love to see Hrgovic versus Malas. But if that doesn't happen, I'd like to see Hrgovic in there with a journeyman that will help him keep developing as a pro. Somebody to give him some rounds, because like I always say, you're not going to knock everybody out, man. So you got to have a plan B, C, D, E, F, G, so on and so forth. All right. You guys let me know in the comment section. I'm gone.